Hello all, hope you are doing well. Today I am going to talk UGC NET in law. In that there is jurisprudence, and in that jurisprudence there is jurisprudence, social science and sociology and sociological jurisprudence. So before going further we should know then how it is jurisprudence and social science and sociology. So law relates significant aspects of human life, and in a very simple term, like law is a set of regulation which are formulated by the state and are binding upon its subjects. So jurisprudence is the science of law, and it has been described as the grammar of law. And in order to effectively interpret the law, it is essential to understand its origin, its nature and its meaning. Not only interpretation but even the legislative process require legislator to keep several factors in mind in order to ensure that the law is effectively enforced and followed by all. So jurisprudence studies the law to facilitate better legislation as well as interpretation, and in doing so it's used the wisdom which provided by other social science. Now the relation of jurisprudence with other social science. Jurisprudence is studying law, and law is regulating the conduct of individuals, and individuals are living and forming societies. So therefore the law is an important social phenomenon, which is making jurisprudence as a social science. However, there are several other social science. Like here in this graph I mentioned ethics, political science, sociology, psychology, economics, etc. So now when we go through for this graph, these social science should be interlinked with each other at some point. So these social sciences could not studied in isolation. In other words, we can say it's a none of these sciences can be understood with having a fair knowledge of others. Jurisprudence being a social science is in fact related with other social science. When we say jurisprudence and sociology, so jurisprudence is the study of law and sociology is the study of society. That means it is also discussed law but from a different standpoint. Therefore it is a link between jurisprudence and sociology. So jurisprudence is concerned with legal rules that actually exist, whereas sociology is studying the effectiveness of those legal rules and their impact on society. When we say jurisprudence and politics, so politics studies the principles responsible for the governmental organization, whereas jurisprudence is analyzing those principles. And in a political society, we can say yes, there exists rule for the regulation of human beings' conduct, which are the subject matter of jurisprudence, and therefore there is a close connection between these two, politics and jurisprudence. When we go for jurisprudence and political science, so here main important role for according to Friedman that jurisprudence is linked to philosophy at one end and to political theory on the other. And the concept of law as we know it today, it is originated with the concept of state, because political science is the science of the state. The analytical social of jurisprudence consider law as a command of a sovereign. So this sovereign is what is known as today, it is state. So the various political theories regarding the origin of the state has been used by jurists to formulate theories regarding the origin, nature and functions of law. Whereas jurisprudence and ethics, ethics is the science of human conduct. It projects an ideal human behavior. in the light of which it suggests a course of conduct for individuals living in societies, whereas jurisprudence is discussing the imperative rules actually existing in the societies, and however those rules are also connected with the behavior of human beings in society. So therefore, the both of the science are interrelated, and due to the close relationship and interdisciplinary of these sciences, there merge a branch of jurisprudence known as ethical jurisprudence, and which says the ideal human behavior, or of course is the study of law too. Jurisprudence and psychology. Psychology is the science of mind and behavior. So, whereas jurisprudence is discussing law, so law is aimed to be followed by individual, and individual can only follow law if they intend to follow. Okay. So, therefore, intention is the very basic element behind every law. And particularly in criminal law, the concept of mens rea, as the students very well aware of this word of meaning of mens rea, is having immense importance, because therefore jurisprudence and psychology both are closely interrelated human sciences. Then jurisprudence and economy. Economic is the science of wealth, and jurisprudence is the science of law. So, economics studies the production and distribution of wealth, and law is responsible for establishing a fair distribution of wealth through rules. Moreover, studies show that economic factors are responsible for the increasing rate of criminal activities, which again brings the two in close relation with each other. And economics aims to improvement of the standard of human lives, whereas this could not possible if a peaceful environment is not available, which is possible through the application of law. And therefore, of course, it is a close relationship between the two. Jurisprudence and history. History is a scientific narration of the past event, whereas jurisprudence is the science of law. Law has not come into existence as a matter of fact, it has developed through age, whereas history helps jurisprudence in digging out the origin and evolution of different legal rules. It's important that there develop a separate branch of jurisprudence, and which is known as historical jurisprudence, and therefore there is a close relation between jurisprudence and history. Now, the relationship of sociology with other social science. I put it here one diagram so it will be very easy to understand. There is a two main branch in sociology. One is pure and another is applied. When you go through for this diagram, like pure social legal research, there is again the three sub branches, and at the bottom of this there is other social science. When you go for other social science, you can see there I mentioned political science, psychology and economics. And when you go for other social science, at the bottom of this slide you can see the again the arrow is going to be up straight, because it is interrelated to one another. Now, how it is? Because sociology is a science of society, and as a social science, it attempts to study social life as a whole. But for the understanding of social life as a whole, sociology requires the help of other social sciences, which studies a particular aspect of society. So, economics study the economic aspect, whereas political studies is a political aspect. Sociological jurisprudence is a functional study of law applied to, concurrent social problems in order to make law as an effective instrument of social control for, harmonizing the conflicting interest of individuals in the society. So, jurisprudence and sociology, it is it's study humans as member of social group. Law is an important element of society, therefore sociologists have to understand law in order to understand society. Because while a lawyer is concerned with the law itself, a sociologist is concerned with the impact of the law upon society. This is the main important in jurisprudence and sociology, to know each other, that jurisprudence and sociology, how it is connected. When we go here for the next social scientific study of law, you can see here the main two is again pure and applied, but in that applied there is only concern of law and policies. Applied social legal research, so it is the legal research on law and policy, the concern of law and policy. Which type of law and policy is there? On sociological jurisprudence, social legal study, law in context, policy research. Where on the other hand, pure social legal research, it's concerned about social theories, sociology of law, law and society, legal anthropology. We go through for next, that is in short, that what is social jurisprudence? So social jurisprudence is a function study of law applied to concrete social problem. Study human as a member of social group. Sociological jurisprudence studies humans as member of social group. So is jurisprudence science or social science? If this is the question, answer is the jurisprudence is a social science, because social science is the study of society or knowledge of conduct and behavior of human being in society. Ethical social sciences are ethics, sociology, psychology, economics and politics. What is the difference between sociology and jurisprudence? Sociology is the study of society, human behavior and social changes, whereas jurisprudence is the study of law and legal aspects of things. These sociology, like the sociological school of jurisprudence, which the study of law and the society are related to each other. What is sociology jurisprudence? So just I mentioned in first point that sociology jurisprudence is a science study of law and it's applied to concrete social problem, in order to make a law an effective instrument of social control for harmonizing the conflicting interest of individual in the society. Then what is the connection between science, social science and sociology? See, within the social sciences is the study of sociology, the study of how society has developed, how it's arranged, and how it functions. These social sciences are subjects concerned with how humans interact with the world, and sociology is interested in the study of society. How is social science related to jurisprudence? Jurisprudence is the science of law. It has been described as the grammar of law because, according to Patten, modern jurisprudence is mostly based on social sciences and philosophy, since it examines the historical aspects of law to address the cause which created by conflicting legal system. Is jurisprudence science or not? Earlier I put it here question, is jurisprudence science or social science? Now it is only for, is jurisprudence science or not? So the answer is jurisprudence, science, or philosophy of law. The analytical branches, it is articulates defined terms and which prescribe the method that best enable one to view the legal order as an internally consistent its logical system. And how is sociology related to law? See, sociology helps law to better understand society for smoother regulations and formations of law. Every social institution, such as family, polity, crime, corporation, also individuals, all these requirements and comprise a different law. So in sociology, we would say that law is a social control over society. What is the main focus of sociology of law? The sociology of law is a force and critical field in understanding legal mechanism and legal practices, as well as establishing the foundation of jurisprudence. However, a definition and general framework need constructing so that the right, you know, the right questions or right problems can be formulated. Why is sociological school of jurisprudence also called functional school? Because sociological jurists describe the perception of the law in different way, like the functional aspect of law, or defining the law in term of courts, rulings, and decision with the realistic approach of law. That's it's called functional school. Who is the father of sociological jurisprudence? So the answer is Rudolf Wall Jering is the father of sociological jurisprudence. Who is the second father of sociology? See, if the question like fathers, who is the father? First, second, third. At least we should remember the beginning of origin of sociology. So, who is the second father of sociology? Second father is Auguste Comte, known as the father of sociology. And Herbert Spencer is called the second father of sociology also. Third founder is Karl Marx, and the last one is Emile Durkheim. So you should be remember four name. If the question like first, or we can say only for the who is the father of sociological jurisprudence, so the answer is Rudolf Jering. Rudolf Jering is the father of sociological jurisprudence. Who is the second father of sociology? Auguste Comte is as the father of sociology, and Herbert Spencer is the called the second father of sociology also. And third founder is Karl Marx. Okay. And if the simple question like who is the father of sociology, see if you go for this question like who is the father of sociology jurisprudence, and who is the second father of sociological. So if only question asks like who is the father of sociology, who is the father of sociology, not sociological jurisprudence. So the answer is Auguste Comte is the father of sociology. He was French philosopher and known as the founder of sociology and of positivism. Because Comte gave the science of sociology its name, and it's established the new subject in a systematic function. Who is the father of English jurisprudence? Austin. Austin is the father of English jurisprudence. Actual laws were explained, or we can say it's condemned according to those principles. Austin is called the father of English jurisprudence and the founder of analytical school. Are social science and sociology the same? See, is sociology a social science, or we can say sociology is a social science focus on society and social institution. In many ways, sociology was the first social science since the discipline originally applied the scientific method of human society. How is jurisprudence different from law? Because Salman defined jurisprudence. And what, according to Salman, says jurisprudence as the science of the first principles of the civil law. And he points out that jurisprudence deal with the particular species of law. Example, we can say civil law or the law of the state. So the civil law consists of rules applied by court in the administration of justice. So that's the why the science of the first principle of the civil law according to Salmon. Now, as the question asks regarding for sociological jurisprudence, so there is a main famous author that one is for Roscoe Pond and Benjamin Cardozo, and they both considered that practical effects of law on people, it's important, needed to be taken into account by both judges and legislator, and role of judges to second guess legislator. These 3 points are similar by Roscoe Pons as well as Benjamin Cardozo. Sociological jurisprudence basically focus on two main primary questions, like which I put it here, that what is the relationship between the law in action or living law and the law on the books or positive law, and what are the social dynamic which space we shape and reflected in positive law. But after putting this, they were argued that positive law should reflect the living law, or also interested in what the positive law says it does and what is the actually does. The sociological jurisprudence evaluation by some issues like living laws which positive law should reflect. So there are response from the sociological jurisprudence theories that this is the first time legal theorists are thinking about the importance of considering living law in shaping positive law as well. Then, if we are going to the jurisprudence and sociological, so there is the why it is why is sociological jurisprudence so important? Because this philosophical approach the law stresses the actual social effects of legal institution doctrines and practices. It examines the actual effect of the law within society and the influence of social phenomenon of the substantive and procedural aspects of law. That's the why sociological jurisprudence is so important. What are the main feature of sociological jurisprudence? So there are 3 to 4 features, or we can say it's a characteristic is also important here. But the sociological jurists are more concerned with the working of law rather than with the nature of law, and it considers law as a social institution which can be concisely made and also changed, modified or retained on the basis of experience. How many branches does jurisprudence have? So of course there is a 3 branches: jurisprudence, science or philosophy of law. So this is the 3 branches. One is jurisprudence, second is science or philosophy, second is science, or third is philosophy of law. So again the jurisprudence may be divided into 3 branches: analytical, sociological and theoretical. How many schools are in jurisprudence? See, the branches are different, the school is also different. Schools are in jurisprudence are 5 schools of jurisprudence. Who, if the question I put it here, like who separated jurisprudence from religion? I not put it here question this one thing, but I just click in my mind, so I can just say to you that who separated jurisprudence from religion. So law is now clearly separated from religion. because this is analogous to the Roman law or to the positivist jurisprudence in the 19th century of Bentham and Austin. So this is just, you remember, it's not law is wide jurisprudence from religion. Who is the mother of sociology? See, now the question generally asks for who is the father of sociology. So I realize, of course, we should mention. I should mention here for the who is the mother of sociology. So the mother is Harriet Martineau. Harriet Martineau is the mother of sociology, which is known for her contribution of sociology, is today also known as the mother of sociology because she has started gaining recognitions only recently, like she was like political a staunch of political and sociological writer and a journalist during the period of Victorian era. So she had devoted lot of work on sociology. So the generally it's not called the question, but if the question may ask in your examination that who is mother of sociology, the your answer will be Harriet Martineau is the answer. Who is called science of law? Who is called science of law? So the word jurisprudence, which derive for the Latin term jurisprudentia. Okay, jurisprudentia. All we are study in our LLB level that jurisprudence in the basic thing, but I put it here also. Latin term jurisprudentia, which mean the study, knowledge, or science of law. In the United States, jurisprudence commonly means the philosophy of law. So, is jurisprudence an art? So, some jurists say that jurisprudence is as an art, as a science, as a philosophy, and social science. It is a substantive law. In the same way, jurisprudence is concerned with the fundamental principle of law and systematic and scientific study of their method. What is the scope of jurisprudence? So, as like jurisprudence, which is come from Latin word jurisprudential, that which means the knowledge of law. So, of course, the scope of jurisprudence has widened manifold since then and now. Also, it's like compasses the entire gamut of law, not just positive law. So it is the study of the fundamental principle of law. It is the scope of jurisprudence. What is the nature of jurisprudence? What is the nature of jurisprudence? So nature of jurisprudence is analysis legal concept. If there is like objective question and you have to just click, you just click analysis legal concept, because it's also try to find out the essential principle of law. It not only analyzes the rules which are already known, but it also analyzes and set the foundations of new rules. It is a result of the thinking of jurist and philosopher. Generally what the students are going to be go in basic study, but these are some questions which are randomly include because this is the basic things, or like deep rooted in sociology that we have to be study for this examination, UGC NET examination. Which country is the birthplace of sociology? So sociology was first taught in Britain at the beginning of 20th century, but expansion here took place like much more recently and was at a greatly influenced by US sociology. How many sections are there in jurisprudence? So basically, see, section you can call branches. There are only three branches. Only three branches in jurisprudence. Jurisprudence may be divided into three branches: analytical, sociological, and theoretical. What is anthropological jurisprudence? There is one point here. See, sometime anthropological jurisprudence, or sometime it is called also sociological. So you must remember this thing that it's not so much different, because anthropological or sociological jurisprudence affirms the thesis that positive law cannot be understood apart from its relation to the particular culture or society out of which it's grow or to which it is applied. Who developed sociology jurisprudence? So here, develop, the question like develop, the answer is Montesquieu, because the forerunner of sociological jurisprudence was Montesquieu, who was the first to apply the fundamental principle which sociological jurists assume. And if you go for in his book like E.L. Spirits D's Losses, he expounded the thesis that a system of law is a living growth and development interrelated with the physical and societal environment. What is the theory of jurisprudence? So theory of jurisprudence, say, or you can call the legal theory, is the theoretical system or theoretical study of law. Scholar of jurisprudence wants or seeks to explain the nature of law in its most general form and provide a deeper understanding of legal reasoning and analogy, legal system, legal institutions, and of course the role of law in society. See, what is jurisprudence in simple word? If you say only I just want to know what the simple word of jurisprudence, so you remember jurisprudence means knowledge of law or skill of law, because juris meaning is juris means is law and prudentia means is knowledge. So knowledge of law. For remember this thing, knowledge of law. Jurisprudence is the knowledge of law or science or skill. And jurisprudence signifies knowledge or science of law and it's applicable. Now see, I put it here graph to graph. So earlier we discussed relationship of sociology to other social science and all, we discussed this in very short and very quick in manner. But every point I try to complete. See, the graphically essay here is anthropological is mentioned and there is not mentioned. So that doesn't mean it is not related. It is related. It is related. Because I told you it is related in our society. If there is society, we cannot say society is only concerned for history, society is only concerned for law, and society is only concerned for economy. It is not like that. It is interrelated to one another. So at the end of this video I can put only this to a diagram to understand the very clearly that this is the points comes in the topic of sociology jurisprudence, and of course the social science. So thank you so much to all of you for watching this video. Please, if you like, subscribe my video, and if you want to the notes of the hard copy, please below the description box I put it here my Twitter link, Instagram link. You please follow over there. You can get it the all material which they are going to explain here. Thank you so much for watching this. Bye.